There's two ways you can secure your polythene in place around the perimeter of your polytunnel. One method would be the dig trench method, and the other way would be to install base rails at ground level. We always recommend the base rail version because it eliminates the need to dig a back-breaking trench right round the outside of your polytunnel.
So if we're going to dig a trench version now, I'm going to have to dig a trench from there to there.
That's right, and then there's just that little section there from the end right up to the edge of the door frame.
Okay, but thankfully we're not going to have to do that. It was hard enough
not.
doing them in the first place. We're going to have a base rail.
We are.
One thing I was thinking actually was that if we do dig a trench, I was thinking of putting the soil in there to make it nice and tidy, but if we've got the polythene on, I'm going to have to run around like the clappers all the time to fill it up. So if you dig in a trench, make sure that you've put your soil waste on this side of the tunnel. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a mess, isn't it?
Now, regardless whether you've gone for the trench version polytunnel or the base rail version polytunnel, this principle of covering is exactly the same. Are you ready, Paul?
Ready, pull tight. Over we go.
Now, I'm happy that the polythene is centralised. Don't be surprised if it doesn't come all the way down to the ground. That's no problem at all. The polythene is designed just to come halfway down. Because you'll see that there's plenty of polythene here at the ends that are going to pull round the sides to cover up the panel up to the door. Now, obviously, because we've got side ventilation, we've got a separate panel. But if you've just gone for the trench version or the base rail version, this polythene will pull and tension round.
At the far end of the tunnel, what we've done is we've put this batten in position and took out the crease as best we can, not worry too much. And along the centre line, we've knocked in these 3 nails. Now what Gail's going to do, she's going to do a bit of acrobatics on here, and without grabbing anywhere but in the door area, because this is going to cut out, that's where the door goes, where she's going to swing inside and really tension that. Go on, in you go. And that's going to go right up, and quite literally, I'm going to do these 3 nails. And that's the first start of tensioning our skin.
Right, we're now starting the process of achieving a drum tight cover. As you can see, there is quite a few ripples in it at the moment. It's not fixed properly on the other side, but we want to put battens in on this side. So you generally start in the middle of your polytunnel, grab the surplus at the bottom, push down with your foot. You can see it tensioning up. Then we're going to get a batten. Remove any wrinkles that you've got. And then we're going to make the rebate.
Now the other side of our polythene skin has been tensioned and trapped in the side rail. We're going to do exactly the same on this side, and this is where we really do begin to get some tension into the skin. We're going to trap the polythene into the top rebate of our aluminium side rail. So there's a bit of a trick to it. Let's see if we can get it right. Now we're going to push down with our feet so that we've got a nice taut skin, and this is going to locate, making sure that there are no creases in the way, into the rail. Having forced this into the rebate, we're then going to lock it in position with the T section, and that'll be a really firm grip.
Right, we've already tensioned and pleated the polythene at the other end of the polytunnel, and now we're going to do exactly the same at the front. Come on,
Okay,
Paul, I need your help.
Give it some pull. Now, essentially what we're going to do is to make sure that the whole area is pleated in the same way, evenly. Not too many gaps in one side, because all of this here is wasted polythene and it's coming smooth there. So, good and tight. Let's push this in position. Okay, you pull that and leave it, just hold it down. Now we need to repeat this process on the other side of the door, but the other thing we've got to do is fix another batten to the side rail here. Now if we only had a base rail, if we didn't have side rails, we'd do that at the base rail level, but we've got side rails. Then when we've got all that in place, get my Stanley knife, cut out the excess, job's a good one.
Now, this is a type of tension we would expect you'd get on a trench version polytunnel. But as you can imagine, once we've lowered our side rails, we're going to get it really drum tight. So all I'm going to do is just loosely unfasten the nuts so we can lower the side rail the 7 centimetres that we raised it earlier. Right, Paul, I'm going to need your help now. I need someone big and strong to help me push down these side rails.
Right, let's have a go on this one. Okay. And this one.
Now both sides have been tensioned. That's the drum tight skin cover you should hopefully achieve.